Previously on Lewis Mowers.
Oh boy. I don't want to damage the camshaft. There we go. Oh. Alright, we're going to put this to the side and rebuild that later. Yeah, got a brand new head. Well, not brand new, but used. Nice, and still got some play here. And did not push out on there. Yeah, it's going to work out great. I did some horse trading for this. Very cool. Alright. Look at all that dirt. This is the reason why it probably overheated, eh? You got to clean these things every once in a while, or they would... Look at all this right here and that. Yeah. I mean, they get hot. They blew head gaskets. They get hot. They start pushing things out. Heat expands the metal. The metal moves. Just simple as that. Nothing fancy about it. Let's see if this head gasket was blown here. No. Just got hot. On that one side, and that did it. That took it out. But of course, we're gonna put all brand new head gaskets and that. I got all that good stuff on order. So, yeah, we're gonna take this outside and we're gonna use some degreaser and polish it up. All right, Chuckles, you clean that thing up good now. What do you mean you don't know how? You just rough it up a little bit. All of the big stuff you want off before you start getting it polished up. All the big stuff here. Just like that. All right. This episode of Lewis Mowers is sponsored by Super Clean. Please use as directed. I love how this foaming action reacts right away. Now only leave it on here for as directed because it's very strong. Alright, fantastic. Once again, Super Clean came to the rescue. Thank you so much, Super Clean. So now right away I'm going to wipe out the cylinders and put some WD-40 down inside there so that it doesn't rust up. Let's say we clean up our bench next. So I'm going to go ahead and lap these. Let me, I just got done taking this and going inside the holes and cleaning that and everything. Probably seen that 1,000 times, but I just want to tell you about it. And I'm going to go ahead and put some lapping compound on my valve and lap those in. Bring it up. Listen for the noise. start to go away, the grinding noise. Okay, we're gonna test, we're gonna go ahead and check it real quick. Wipe away. Yeah, we're getting there. Okay. Got a nice surface on there too. Very nice. Took that old seal out. Right here. Make sure you get this nice and clean. And go ahead and spray it out with a little bit of cleaner there. This is the part right here. Go ahead and take a picture of that, whatever you want to do. The genuine Briggs. I got this years ago from Harbor Freight. I like it. I mean, all I do is just kind of match up the size here. There you go. Matches up. And so unscrew this here. There we go. Just like that. So a nice little hitting surface. You can tell I hit it a couple times. All right. And get this opened up real quick. Okay, there's a hole right here. As long as you don't go past that and block that off, you're good. Now there's a little recess inside here where this lip just barely kind of seats on there. So you get it nice and even on there. Okay. Then what I like to do, I like to take my little flat hammer and then take this. And I call that my musty one hammer. Alright, so see, nice and flat like that. But you know that you got to go down in there a little bit more. So you just take your little you hear the difference? There we go. That's the easy part. The hard part's getting around that shaft so you don't roll that thing. All right, back over to the engine here. Now we're going to put our tappets in before we put our camshaft in. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some of this red and tacky on there. Mainly, well, two purposes. This kind of like keeps it in there a little bit so it don't go slipping out on you. And of course you want some pre-lube on this working parts inside this engine. Because of course everything's going to be getting worked around. Okay, got all four of those in there. Now, take our camshaft. And then there's a hole down here. Let me show you real quick. Spray some of that red and tacky in that hole too down there, where this camshaft rides on. So let me show you real quick. Got to line up your timing marks. See this little dot right here? Remember that little dot from when we took it off? You get that. kind of like going on the top here. Let me turn this real quick. I should have had this already done, sorry. All right, so right about there. Then your dot on this one, line that right up there. Okay. There we go. Just like that, dot to dot. All right. So this next part, here's your part number here. Take a picture of that. This is going to be your sump gasket and bolts. They give you new bolts. That's pretty cool when you get it from Briggs. I don't know about anybody else, but I like using Briggs parts on Briggs because they're kind of finicky aftermarket sometimes. Other than I found a good source with Stens. I like Stens. Other than that, I don't know. Sometimes certain things you just got to go with, yeah. And they give you instructions when you get it from Briggs too. A lot of your aftermarket do not. So here's all your detailed instructions. Using thread chaser, you chase the threads on the engine here, and yeah, you just kind of take a gander of that real quick. All right. So here's the bolts. They already have the Loctite on them. See, pretty cool. Thank you, Briggs. All right. There we go. Line your dowels up, of course. There you are. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead off camera. I'm gonna go ahead and chase all my threads real quick. All right, next I'm gonna go ahead and pour some fresh engine oil out and lube this shaft up real good. There you are. I'm gonna go ahead and go to my sump and do the same thing to the inside where the new seal is. All right. Double check and see if everything looks okay. Make sure you're not forgetting anything that goes internally inside the engine here. Okay. All right. So everything looks okay. All right. Everything's meshing really nice. Make sure all that's lubed up. Grab your sump. Now, sometimes what you got to do, so you got to grab this with a rag and like a pair of pliers and kind of wiggle it back and forth. But sometimes you get lucky. Let's see. Okay, sump is going on. Sometimes you got to wiggle it a little bit to get it on there. You get it right to about that point, and then it starts to kind of get funky on you. So let me get a little pick and go around inside there and see if it won't drop down on there. Try to get you a good shot, but if I don't, I apologize. So I'll lift it up a little bit to get a little bit of a gap. Okay, stick your pick down in there. Kind of roll it around a little bit. There we go. Okay. Slowly take your pick out. Alrighty. There we go. Alright, let's get our bolts in. Alright, so with all these little bits like this, I take these and I go to my parts washer and I just use this as like a little strainer, and I let the solution you know, basically run right through there. And yeah, it works out just fine. Then I lube it up with that red and tacky. Yep. All right. So this in here with the, I guess it's the larger part, I mean the longer part, goes down in there in the center. Kind of wiggle it around and then turn it and let it fall down in there in that little groove. There you go, it fell down in there. Then we'll take our other little piece here, little star piece, I guess you would call it. Put that in there. And then our other smaller star little piece. Okay. Now you're gonna roll this one around until it falls down in there, kind of like a puzzle, I guess you would call it. You'll get it. It fits in there just right. It won't go any other way. Won't go in there any other way. There you go. See, it fell right down in there. Takes a minute, but you'll get it. Now, wipe off this surface here. Nice and neat. Everything's got to be clean. You don't want anything foreign inside here. Alright, let's get that cover on there. Let's get our bolts going, eh? If you haven't already, please hit that like button. It really helps to show out all the rhythm and that. We're almost to 2,000 subscribers. I'm very happy, and I like to thank everyone for that. We've come a long way in a short time. Hand tighten these as much as you can. And then we'll do the sequence that is required from the instructions. Okay, according to these instructions, this is number 1 here, right here. This is number 3, 7, 10, 8, 4, 2, 6, 9, 5. Okay. Once again, here goes the sequence. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So yeah, I have it on 325 inch pounds. not pounds. Make sure it says inch pounds. This last one, 10. There we go. All right, now we're going to flip this up. Make sure that it's still, yep, going around and around. All right, no binding, nothing like that. All right, very nice. Another little tip, these blocks of wood, things that I make like that, they come in handy for stuff like this. Propping stuff up, making sure stuff is nice and secure on your bench. Now we're going to move on to the head gaskets. Here's your number. I use the Stens. I like this. I use it all the time. Not a problem. Okay. Now, line your dowels up, of course. Nice and neat. There you are. Both mating surfaces are nice and flat and clean. All right. Again, line your dowels up. Nice and neat here. There you go. Just like that. And get a bolt in there. Hand tighten them in there first, of course. I'm going to try to be as delicate as possible, really. Don't forget the one that's inside the center here. People always forget that one. I worked on one time where there was only 2 bolts holding one head on. Of course, they forgot that one in there. I don't know. You're running into all kinds of stuff when you're working on this used lawnmowers. Oh, look who decided to come to work part-time. Got both of the heads on there. I leave these a little bit loose because sometimes when you go put it back down into the chassis, they kind of like need to wiggle a little bit. This one's a little tighter than that one, but you can wiggle this one to get this one in and vice versa, you know. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and switch our attention to the carburetor. Oh, I forgot to mention, 220 inch-pounds for the head bolts. Just go in a crisscross pattern. Yeah. Okay, so this carburetor, I was told it was acting up. I think what's going on is that the O-ring inside there is messed up or something. He said it was leaking. So a while back, our friends over at HIPAA parts, they sent me this carburetor, and yeah, it's going to be a nice little addition to this build. So yeah, let's get on that right now. Okay, so please be very careful taking all these off and everything, because this particular carburetor has a lot of different gaskets in that, and it's very easy to put these on wrong and you know, backwards and forwards and, you know, all that good stuff. So first thing you do is take out this portion here, and then we are going to set it up here, get these off here. I think it's this one here. This one here. Nope. Nope. Don't tell me I don't have the side. Oh yeah, there it goes. All right, I like to start out with a stud right about there. Then put your regular gasket there with your little tabs up top. Then you see these little eyelets. Put it right there. Put it right there. Take your intake. Remember that this part is going to be toward you. Okay. Now, if this part is toward you, this part right here where the fuel goes is also going to be toward you. Then what you do is that you set that down on there like so. Okay. Screw it in a little bit. There you are. Okay. Take another one. Screw it in. Just hand tight for now. And there you are. So now you're going to double check your fuel inlet here and where your cable goes here. And then it's going to go on the machine just like that. Okay? Very nice. So to double check your studs, you remember that this has a little recess in there. So this part right here, this little shoulder, goes right down on there. Okay? Now that everything is nice and remember there should not be a gap here. So once you tighten these up right here, make sure there's no gap right here. Okay? We're going to go ahead and do that now. If you don't feel comfortable using one of these, do not. I'm just going to go little by little. Okay? All right. All right. Very nice. Now, oh, don't forget your O-rings, of course. Set those in there. These also have little recesses. There we are. Sometimes when you use the old ones, you can see the little indentions. So you just go by that, and they'll slide right down on there. Okay. Alrighty. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to go to the back side of the carburetor on our old one also and see which one of these, this one right here, of course, because it has those two little eyes here. Okay. I don't remember if we double up on that or not. I have to look at that. Oh, you know what? Yes, we do. Yep, we double up on that one. There we are. Okay, we are ready to get installed here. Okay, what do you say we clean this up a little bit before we install it? Don't forget your linkage in the back like I just did. So it's easier just to take these two little screws out and then loop it in there. Take a quick look. So you hook here, your two bolts, your 3/8 bolts goes right here and right here. There's little little tabs right here, so you can't like get that wrong really, because it kind of tucks underneath there. And then of course put on your anti-fire backfire solenoid on there, and then I'll show you how to set the governor next. Okay, so you want your throttle to be all the way this way. Okay. All right. Now you want this portion right here. This is a 1/4 inch wrench. So you want this to be, see how it kind of moves? You want it to be all the way like this. You keep this like this, okay, the tension, and then tighten up this portion here, just like that. All right, let's double check what we did. Okay, so we are at full throttle, of course, when this is all the way right here with the tension on the governor. How you can check that is there's lots of tension right here. And then when you let go, of course, there's less tension. Our spring is still attached here. Our spring is still attached here. I'll give you an overhead view of everything. Take lots of pictures. That's all I can really suggest. This is a mess. We're going for 4/1000ths. I'm going to back that out. There we go. That feels good. 4/1000ths right there. See if we can keep it right there, huh? No, it's a little tight. Got to be careful with this. It's got to be just right. 4/1000's not that much, so. If you ask me, it's a little easier while it's on the machine too. But we don't got that option right now. So let's see that one. That's a little tight still. You'll get it. It's just fool with it a little bit. That's all. You don't want it super tight. Right about there. We're going to hold it right about there. There we go. Nope. See, it's not easy doing this, but you just gotta take your time. That's perfect right there. Let's see if we can't lock that down right there. Oh yeah, right there. All right. Now we're gonna rotate it. Now that one's closed, so this one's open. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Might get lucky with this one right off the bat. Don't say that. Don't say that. It's a little loose than I like it though, right there. Let's back this out again. Gotta have it right. I like doing 4 top and bottom. I mean, it calls for 4 to 6, but I like doing 4 top and bottom. It's just the way I do it on these V-twins. Well, that's excellent right there. Let's see if we can't get it right there. Oh yeah, that was perfect. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna do the other side just same way, and we're gonna go ahead and clean up our surface here. Of course, get this red and tacky off of there. We are going to be putting new covers on. New gaskets on, and then our cover. And then the next time you see it, it will be on the machine. So yeah, moving on. So we got our valve covers and gaskets on there, looking very nice. Now we are going to put our cover on there. Like so. There we go. I got the other cover down there. I got to clean that, and then we can put it on the machine. Well, she's starting to look like a mower again. Okay. So we got it mounted. These are still loose, remember that, because we loosened these on purpose so these will fit nice and even in there. So now we're going to go ahead and tighten these up before we do anything else. We're going to tighten these up here. Then we're going to go down below and do the 4 mounting bolts. So you know that this little indentation here is your key. So put it on your belt. And then slide it on to your, what's going on here? Oh, yeah, very important. Set the brake so this tension will be off of your belt. So we're gonna set the brake. There you go. Now, see how it goes further? Yeah, okay. Now just turn it until you find that little key. There's your key. There's your key right there. Don't forget to put anti-seize on there, because you don't want the next person to have a problem getting this thing off, you know. All right, so now it's gonna be a bit of a balancing act. we're going to go ahead and put our bracket, our PTO and our bracket right here. So our bracket goes like so. Yeah. All right. I'm going to put our PTO next. All right. So next, we're going to go ahead and hook up our electrical connection here. You'll feel it. It's up there. I don't like hooking it up when it's not secure here, because if it falls off your hand, it will rip that wire right out of there. And that's the reason why I'm going to show you the next thing here. This is a little bracket. You tuck it underneath here, rotate this, put this little guy in there, and then you see how on this side it has a little bolt here. I'm going to go ahead right now and tighten that up. There you go. Okay. Now when the PTO engages, it won't go anywhere because that's nice and secure, and it won't rip out your wire. All right, moving on. Chuckles, go to work. All right, so I got fresh oil in there. And I think we're ready to start it up for the first time. I'm not going to put the deck on yet because I have to change the blades. There's a couple blades that are bad, but you don't need to see that to know that the engine is going to be running. So let's get to that point. Okay, so moment of truth here. Let's kick it over a little bit to get some of that fuel up to the carb because it's been totally drained. All right, here we go. Now I don't recommend not having a shroud on there, but I want to make sure everything looks okay, nothing's rubbing or getting hot or anything like that. I'm just going to run it for a little bit, then put the shroud back on. Okay, here we go. I adjusted that idle screw. Let's see how it idles now. Very nice. Alright, I'm going to go up. Alright. That is what we are talking about. Fantastic. We saved that little engine. Alright, I really appreciate everybody following along on this journey here. This is, of course, part 2 and final. With that being said, remember, it's just nuts and bolts, and God bless. Bye-bye now. Very happy with this little unit.